Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Been a while since I've done a video, about a month and a half really been tied up with a lot of other things going on, kind of getting back in the shop, getting some stuff done way behind. If you hear a racket in the background, it's the air condition. It's 90 plus here in Georgia today, so a little bit warm. Last video we was working on this Epiphone Les Paul Special. It had a broke neck. It was broke at the scarf joint, and it was the fretboard was off, the nut was missing, tuners were gone, pickups gone, all the electronics. So I had to re-glue the scarf joint, reattach the fretboard, check the, make sure the truss rod was going to work. I found some tuners put on that are okay. We wax potted the pickups, and now we're just kind of into the setup mode on this thing. The nut height's way too high, so got the nut on, and I'm going to be, going to work and get the nut height set and check the intonation, everything that way, and we'll see what else we can get into with it. So if that's interesting, just hang on and we'll get to it. Where I'm going with this particular guitar is 22 thousandths at the first fret. It was probably 26 to start with. Just slowly working my way down. This is just a generic plastic nut, and I'm awful used to, using bone nuts, so I'm having to, back off a little bit with the file, because these Hosco files really work really well, and they'll work a little bit too good if you're not really careful with them. Because that plastic's rather soft. And we're good on our base E right here, 22 thousandths. I'm going to try that right there and see what, little bit, I could go a little more, but this plastic's going to wear, so giving them just a little bit more room on this thing. All right, that's got our string height correct at the nut, and like I say, using these Hosco files, one side's like 26, the other one's 10. I always, when I'm using one, I have the other two way over here, so I don't accidentally just pick up the wrong file. I do everything left-handed, which is backwards, but I have in my mind that the writing on the top three strings is away from me, and on the bottom three it's toward me. So you just have to take your time and make sure that you're, and then when you're actually doing your filing, go toward the tuner at an angle, not dig into the headstock, but just keep it at a good angle where your breakover is really good. And like I say, if you're filing down a plastic nut, these things work really, really fast. So you have to take a little caution with that. So we'll move on to the next step. Okay, the next order of business was losing my capo. Finally finding it and forgetting to cut the camera back on. But the string action height is set. The action height's set. That's all good. Now maybe we can put the truss rod cover on without any incident. It's funny how being out of the shop for a while, especially just moving out here, how things walk away, you forget where you put things. I mean, it's just like starting all over again. But I'm not painting, and that's a great thing. That's what I've been doing, is painting. And I've had enough of that. kind of get back to doing some of this guitar work. The Hunt screws. I organized everything so well, I can't find anything. Okay, there's a truss rod cover installed. Now, do a little intonation work, and we'll be ready to try it out. Alright, well, we'll give it a try and see what it sounds like. Okay, we got, an Android phone for our audio, so I don't know how good that's going to be, but we're going to give it a try anyway and see how it sounds. So I'm sure it's going to go out of tune with the new strings and all that, but we'll give her a try. Now these are the pickups that come out of the Chibson Les Paul that we wax potted, so we're going to see how they do. It would help if I'd actually think about what I was going to play before I started playing it. Kind of sharp, kind of telly sounding almost. This is the neck pickup. Something to play, but now we're going to try the overdrive, because before, when you had overdrive on, these pickups would just start screaming. So we'll see what happens when we. So far, so good. It's going to be way too loud for the camera, and we're already out of tune. That's not loud enough. But there's no squealing. Before, you couldn't get it near the amp. So the wax potting actually has helped. So, that's a good thing. So, it sounds pretty good. Sustain. I mean, it all seems to work good. And this is just, this guitar was destined to be thrown away. I mean, the neck was completely, like I say, broke off. The headstock was completely broken off. The fretboard was detached. The truss rod was out. And I pretty much fixed it back with just stuff that I had laying around, really just some real cheap Chibson-y stuff that I had around. So, this is a budget guitar, but it'll be great for somebody learning to play the actions low. It'll be okay. If somebody gets it, want to upgrade the tuners, because when you go to tune these things, you go way somewhere before it ever starts coming back. So for what it is, the amount of work that I've got in it, I think it's pretty good, and we saved it from the dumpster. It's no longer forgotten, abandoned, all those other things, It is what it is. So you know, when you can get one like this and save it, you know, it saves space in the landfill, and it gives somebody a chance to get a decent guitar to learn on. I mean, it actually sounds pretty good. I'm happy with the wax potting on those pickups. They don't really sound bad. I mean, my playing, I ain't worked on guitars in a month and a half, and I ain't played one in a lot longer than that to amount to anything. So, didn't have a plan what to play, what to do, and I know the audio's not good. You know, now that I'm in this shop, maybe we can get things working a little better on that. I appreciate everybody that subscribed. I know a lot of people subscribed since I've made the last video, so appreciate y'all jumping on board, and I'm going to try to get back getting a video out about every week. So if you hadn't subscribed, consider it. Hit the like button. Comment on it. What you think about it? Was it worth the trouble to fix? We're talking spare parts laying around. I bought the strings. Let me think. I think that's it. Like, I bought the strings. Everything else is stuff I've took off other things and upgraded, whatever. So, you know, kind of rusty at this video stuff. Wasn't good at it to start with, but I've had a little time off, and I'm, you know, really not back in the groove of it yet. So anyway, maybe it'll get better. But I appreciate everybody watching, and till the next time, see you.